is Adam Chase. I'm a graduating voice performance major here. So I found this project just walking around the music building. There was a flyer up, and it said they were looking for someone to write and perform in an opera, and I went, oh, that's me. Because I compose and I sing, and I think there aren't so many people in my department who do both sides of it. And when they do, it's usually not the classical stuff. But that's something that I've always liked. I've always wanted to be able to write the stuff that I'm performing because I want to be performing the things that I like, and I know what I like, so I can write what I like. So that's kind of just where I'm at. For me, it's always, if it's got text, it's the text. Because the text informs the emotive quality of the piece, the musical quality of the piece. There's so much music in words on their own. We speak in a very melodic way, even in languages that aren't intentionally pitched. And so you can really get so much just from speaking through the text a few times, and then I usually just take out my phone with voice memos and I sing it through. I see what feels right, what the cadence is naturally of the text as best I can, and go from there. I did make a point of trying to get a sense of what in architecture makes sound and what that kind of feels like. It doesn't necessarily translate one-to-one in sound, but you do want to keep the quality of it. You want to try to mimic the same feel. And so that's what I was trying to do, and I spoke with a variety of people about it. I wandered around in buildings and was just more attentive to what everything felt and sounded like. There's a few motifs that I just can't remember the melody of offhand, but there are definitely motifs for a variety of things that pop up now and then, just to kind of call back to them throughout the music. Especially for anytime sewage is mentioned, there's a few patterns that are used that kind of are across the three pieces. The difference is just the degree of depth of orchestration, really. Because I'll have, the way that I write, I'll write a melody, and then as I'm writing it, I have other sounds in my head. I go, oh, ya-da-da-da-da, would go well with ya-da-da-da-da. So then either that's the next part, or it layers under or on top of. So it kind of all goes together in my head, and I just end up with what fills out what I've decided on in terms of the ideas I come up with, and how that is just naturally throughout the process as I'm going. There's all sorts of stuff that I pull from when I'm writing, especially. There's always aspects of whatever it is that I've been working on most recently. I'm sure there's influences from the Magic Flute, because I went and I saw that, because we put on the chamber opera. I'm sure there's, like, I will go through playlists, and I'll make playlists of music to listen to just to, like, get sounds in my ear. And I don't pull exactly the sound, but I want that feel, so it kind of ends up bleeding into the music ever so slightly. And I think that's kind of the result you get. I think, well, time is always an issue. Doing something like this in the time frame was super tricky, especially just trying to make, I think it ended up being about 13 minutes of music in that amount of time. And then one of the things that takes me personally the longest, and I will get better at, is rhythm. Because a lot of these are like funky, syncopated rhythms to get the words on the correct beat for where they would feel if you were just speaking them. And to write in a speaking cadence, you end up with some rhythms that you're not used to seeing. And you've got to think, okay, what is that in music? And that part still takes me a little bit.
I know that's my lyrics thing. So, yeah, I apologize for that.
If someone's listening to this for the first time, what I would point out is the variety of things the different layers are doing. My personal policy with composing is that no instrument should be bored while playing, and that means that everyone has a bit of something interesting to do, so there's a lot to listen for if you just like cue into an instrument. I think my favorite parts are where they go, like change tones and do it suddenly but smoothly. There's one section at the end of the third piece where it goes from minor to suddenly major, but it happens in a way that isn't jarring, and that kind of switch I always like.